Hey guys, this is my entry to jackrippzz Bloody 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 giveaway contest. Thanks a lot, man, for having this contest. I think you're giving away some really cool prizes. I really like the Psycho Blu-ray and the other Psycho stuff you have there, and the Halloween 3 DVD seems really cool. So thanks a lot, man, for having this contest. Hope you got more subs from this, and congrats on the subs you have already. So this video's got to be 8 minutes long. I'm up to the challenge, and you ask 5 questions. I'm gonna answer 4 of them. I'm gonna leave out the director question, the director who's known for one movie, that thing, because that's kind of harder for me. I'm not sure how to answer that one, but I guess I'll get right into it. I have your questions up here. I'll read them off before I answer. If some random newer horror fan unfamiliar with lower budget classics asks you to suggest something for them to watch to get them more familiar with the subgenre, what movie would you suggest to them and why? Well, a movie that I saw on AMC's, the Fear Fest thing they have going on around Halloween every year, where they just show all kinds of different horror movies. One movie that really intrigued me that I saw a while back was The Beast Must Die. I believe it's a 1974 film, so it's an older one. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw bits and pieces of it, but I think the general plot was there's this beast, and I think this owner of a mansion, he wants to kill it, and he invites these people over to his mansion and kind of doesn't let them leave until they find out who the monster is and they kill it. I definitely need to watch that movie myself, the whole thing, because it looked really cool. Yeah. Another older movie, that's not, I think it's pretty popular, but definitely not like the Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, those kinds of things, is Phantasm. Another 70s horror movie. I did see that one. I really liked it. Pretty crazy, pretty different. Not just a slasher. I can't. This kid's brother dies, and there's this old man. I think he raises zombies he has like his own army to go do these things, but it's a pretty crazy movie. I remember a twist ending there at the end. It was a while ago, so I don't remember it too well, but it really moved me, and the ending was one of those endings where you questioned, did this person really die? What's going on here? Was a solid dream? That kind of thing. So, The Beast Must Die and Phantasm. Those are 2 lesser-known horror movies I would recommend to someone trying to get into the horror genre. And next question: if you were making a slasher and you had complete creative control over it, who would your villain be? How would they look? How would they act? How would they carry out the carnage? I used this answer for another contest entry to Waitaka Films. Excuse me. He asked a similar question, and I said my killer would be a snowman. As silly as that sounds, it's just an idea that came to me. I think it would make for a really crazy, different kind of slasher. How would he look? Well, be a pretty large snowman. You know, he'd have to be capable of killing people. He'd have the three large humps, three large balls of snow. You know, he'd definitely have a pipe in his mouth, long, kind of lanky branch arms, you know, tree branches, long carrot nose, and black top hat, you know, like Frosty. Yeah, and how would they act? Well, he wouldn't act too much because he'd be frozen most of the time. He'd kind of, you know, hide out in the yard, you know. Maybe he's a snowman at an abandoned house or something like that. And as night comes, he goes out into the night and does his killing. How would he kill people? I think he'd probably use his pipe a little bit, stick it in someone's eye, gouge out their eye. He'd have superhuman strength, take his twig arm and just stick it through somebody's body. That would be pretty cool. And also I think he could just kind of grab someone or touch somebody with his body, and they would start freezing to death. Maybe they turn into an ice block, and then he could just shatter them. Yeah, that's my snowman killer. Next question. Name one franchise and or movie that you wish would have never been made. You hate it so much that you wish it had never seen the light of day. What is the movie or franchise, and why do you hate it? For me, that's definitely Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween. I love the original Halloween series. Even the ones in there that people hate, I think the whole series is really good. And especially the first ones, 1, 2, and even 4 and 5, I thought were really great. But that remake, it was just horrible to me. It was just, it was like a really cheap version. I think they tried to make it even more slasher, give it a more slasher feel than the original Halloween movies already had. You know, there just wasn't that depth and that substance to the movie. It was, and they, you know, that thing with where they were kind of developing the character, giving some backstory on Michael Myers. They showed him as a kid, you know, his family life, what he went through. That was kind of cool, but it was just a kind of a little too emo, gothic feel for me. You know, I didn't like it. I think it kind of tarnished the whole Halloween series, making that remake. There was just no need for it. Didn't really add anything new for me. And then the second one to me was even worse than that. Just really bad. And I believe it was the second one. I think there was that scene after the car crash, or the ambulance crash, I believe it was. And then there was that vision with the white horse and his mother, and I was like, I think it was that incest going on there. It was just horrible to me. I didn't like it at all. I really wish, you know, those hadn't been made, or if they had, you know, I wish those would have been done a lot better. You know, I just really didn't like those movies. Okay. What is one movie that you love so much that every time you watch it, you wished it could be as if you had never seen the movie and was watching it for the very first time again? A movie that I really like, a horror movie, that I think it's less popular. I think it was more popular when it came out, when it was newer, but I rarely hear it talked about anymore, and I don't see it in a lot of people's collections, is Vacancy, with Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother. I really like that movie, and because it's not a movie it's not a slasher movie. It doesn't have great shots or gory scenes, anything like that. It's really kind of a suspense movie. You really, you want to see what happens. Do the people survive? That kind of movie. I wish I could see it for the first time again. And I remember when I first watched that, I felt a lot of suspense. Really, a lot of anticipation, waiting to see how everything would play out. I really liked that movie. More low budget. There wasn't anything real special going on there. But the plot, I just think, was really simple, and there wasn't even much to the plot. This couple stopping at the motel, and there were these guys filming them, from the guys who own the guys running the front desk, where they had hidden cameras in all the rooms and basically filming people having sex, and then they go kill them. But that's basically the plot. And then these people, this couple, Luke Wilson and his wife, they just try to survive. It wasn't silly. It wasn't anything like that. It was, it felt very realistic. Like this, something like this could really happen, and just a great kind of survival movie. You wait to see if the people survive, and you care about what happens to them. It was very well paced, didn't feel long or slow. Like everything played out, kind of the way it should, and it felt very realistic, like that could happen to anyone. And I really liked it. I really liked the look of the bad guys in there. They had those, those white sheets over their heads. It's kind of a creepy thing, Like I said, it could happen. Something like that could really happen. So yeah, it's a movie I wish I could watch again, just for the suspense of it. So those are the 4 questions I answered of yours, and you also asked us to give a shout out to a YouTuber we feel deserves more subscribers. I'm going to go with knuckle. He makes a lot of videos, shares his thoughts on a lot of horror movies, does Blu-ray updates, a horror guy, and he's having a really cool contest going on right now for an Evil Dead Steelbook, so that's really cool. Go check him out. I'll put his link in the description. And yeah, he doesn't have too many subscribers right now. I think only about 40, but go check him out. So I hope that was 8 minutes long. I'm not quite sure. But great contest, man. Thanks again for having this. Great prizes. I think they're really cool, and I hope you get a lot more subs, man. Congrats on the subs you already have, and thank you again for having this really cool contest, man. Alright, see ya. Thanks.